Shalom, shalom. Let's do that again. Let's go. One moment, folks. Hey, how you doing? We're ending Purim. Hold on one moment.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
That's right. You are invited. Come on in. Come on in.
The East is where we're from.
Shalom, shalom.
The 12 tribes
Happy
of
Purim.
Israel. And
721 BC. Come on.
the Assyrian king,
He took us down, we fell. Come on.
with a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still.
Come on.
To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. So we be Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, and Naphtali from the arms of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel.
Come on. Blessings, brothers and sisters.
AHAYAH's gathering Israel.
That's right. The Most High is gathering Israel. I'm Elder Akashiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly broadcast. Shalom to my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Actually, this week, we all have received an extra treat. Not just one broadcast since last night, Happy Purim, but the closing of Purim with our normally scheduled Wednesday broadcast. I would like to say all praises be to the Most High God of Israel, AHAYAH, AHAYAH, in the name of YASHAYA, that's the Most High God, in the name of Christ through the Holy Spirit. I would like to invite you all and thank you all for being a part of this great awakening. That's right. I'm Elder Akashiar here. And no soon as I get on the line, it took me an hour, over hours to actually set up this. And no soon as I began, what happens? You got it. The tracker rings. One moment. All right. We're going to put this to the side. Right on cue, right? That's right. All praises be to the Most High. And happy Purim to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Boy, did we have, man, we had a good time. We had a good time last night with the saints. I would wish the brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth a blessed Purim. those that are in the body and those who are yet to come in, who didn't have the luxury of actually gathering with the location, but don't worry about it. We are working on that to get a location in your locale. So don't worry about it. We're working on it, but happy Purim nonetheless. Man, the sisters, and they did a great job in decorating. It was so beautiful there. I mean, the gifts, the sisters came up with the gifts and all that, and we're giving out the gifts in celebration of our sister Esther, Queen Esther, during the time of the Persian Empire in the 5th century, in which she married the king. And as queen, that's right, she rid our people of an enemy, Amalek, okay? And Amalek is still working, okay? Now, and we have exposed that last night. So those who didn't see that, please go back and see that broadcast we did last night. Resounding, but at the end of it, a celebration, a giving of gifts, all right? In commemoration of what happened in our time in ancient Persia. How y'all doing? Everyone's saying happy feast, happy feast, happy feast. I'm trying to look at this and talk at the same time. So let me jump right into it, right? Let me jump right into it. Okay, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Okay, this week in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. This week in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, we're going into UFOs and the Bible, exposing the gods of this world. Aliens aren't from another planet, okay? Aliens are the fallen gods who are actually ruling over governments. That's right. All elected officials in this earth have always reported to them. Well, we're going to go into that and more this coming Sunday, exposing the alien conspiracies. What does the Bible say about unidentified flying objects? It was in the Bible the whole time. Elizabeth said, it's such an amazing academy. Thank you, sister. We go through so much effort and work and study to make it, an experience second to none. But without your participation, what could it be? So thank you for that, okay? Now, thinking of that, aliens, folks, there was an invasion, but it was a long time ago. The aliens were here, or the gods were here, before Adam. They were trapped in the firmament when the Most High destroyed the construct they were attempting to build in this same place called the face of the deep. The Most High destroyed it and put a line around it and trapped the gods in the earth. Okay? That's right, folks. Satan and his angels are the so-called aliens, and I'm going to prove it. Okay? And that's where you get your Marvel comics and all these others. Superman, Krypton was destroyed, hurled to earth, and all this other mess they made to sideways worship the gods they serve. The S on the chest wasn't for Superman. The S is the serpent, Satan. Okay? So that and more. I don't want to give too much away, but since we're talking about aliens in space, so that no one out there can think that we are conspiracy theorists, well, if what we're teaching out of the Bible isn't correct, then someone please explain this to me. If what we're saying isn't correct, can someone please explain this? Okay? What is this? While they're distracting the majority of the world today. They put the fair use over here. Do y'all know they have an Israel space agency? Do you know that? Do you know y'all tax money is going right now to an Israel space agency? So why are they attempting to go out in space? And did they need Israel and that locale with the technology of CERN, which is what? CERN came out of the ancient ruins of the Babylonian Tower. Think about that. Think about that. So they needed that particular area where there's a gate, a portal into the sides of the north. I'm going to go into that. So they needed Israel strategically. Don't believe the hype claiming that it's some type of prophetic restoration of Jews and Israel's back into Israel according to the Bible. It has nothing to do with that. That's the cover. And that's the play on naive Christians who are willing to actually financially and spiritually help those who oppose the same Christ they serve. Okay? But going back to it, Israel Space Agency. Look at this. What's this? A space agreement? Space. While people are fighting down here, they talking about getting off of this place because they know what's coming. They know who's coming. Space agreement signed for the first time between Israel and Azerbaijan. The Israel Space Agency. Folks, let me go back. The Israel Space Agency, under the auspices of the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. And here we go. Israel Space Pharma launches groundbreaking medical experiment laboratory into space. And you want to talk about experiments in pharma? Well, we're going to talk about that a little later after I'm ending this, right? But how many of you actually knew out there, folks? Huh? How many out there knew that while they were distracting people on earth, that Israel actually has a space agency working right now? And guess what? No one in the earth right now is actually talking about this. No one. See, while they got people looking one way, we are looking through the lens. That's right, the heavenly lens, using the Bible to see exactly what they're up to. Right? So they get you looking one way, but then you'll see they're doing something prophetic that they're trying to get all of the citizens of the earth's eyes or sights off of. Folks, the Bible is real. So I'm going to be talking about that and more in the Hebrew and Bible Academy this week. We're going into aliens, gods, that's right, UFOs, and the Bible. It's going to be taught like you've never understood it before. See, the world have to identify it as grays, aliens, and all that, so to not give it a negative connotation. But folks, I'm going to tell you right now, it's straight occultic. It's demonic. It's dark. And this is why they tried to put some lipstick on that pig with the E.T. movie that came out years ago. Was that Steven Spielberg? Think about that. Trying to give good PR to demons, good PR to the fallen gods they serve in secret. That and more. You want to be there. historytimes.org. Now, let's jump right into it. I got lawyer on standby, but let me first start off. I usually, set the table with what we'll be going into today. As a matter of fact, we're going into Babylon's or America's final administration, actually, this evening. Hit the like button. Yes, yes, yes. Lord have mercy. Do we have a good broadcast that we've put together for you all today? So let's talk about it. Babylon's final administration. Years ago, when YouTube was in its infancy, I got on the streets of Philadelphia on the corner And I started highlighting this so-called black man, or who was running for president, who came out of nowhere by the name of Barack Obama. Kenyan ties. When you look at him, he's more so the Hamitic, Cushite, Ethiopian type of look, opposed to what we would call black Americans. But I'm going to tell you, when you're starving for any level of recognition and respect, as a people, you'll take anything. I was on the street saying, well, hold up. We need to look into this guy because the policy that they'll use through him can utterly destroy our people. Now, did I think that he was making the decisions? No. But he would be the perfect conduit. He would be the perfect face to utilize in an effort in destroying our people. Now, I need to look back since then, and I'm going to ask you, what have the world received? What have we received since celebrating the presidency of Barack Obama? We received what? Grown men being able to go into children's bathroom if they identify as a woman. Transgenderism, gay marriage, a serious moral decay in the earth like never before since the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah. The destruction of family, the birth rates came down on our people. The marriage rates came down on our people. Right? Sexual gene therapy for children. Think about that. Right? Story time with transgenders. The exaltation of women in our community over the men. What have we received since then? Folks, I told everyone when it first happened, and guess what? Every time we would get to 2,000 subscribers, they would delete the channel. And that was before YouTube had these serious guidelines we're witnessing today. They would never allow this channel, when I was speaking back then, to go past 2,000. It was like clockwork. They knew that I wasn't violating, that I was speaking truth. It was like clockwork. No soon as we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm talking about way back before Google purchased this and all that. And, they would just take down channels. I need y'all to think about that. And I was following the guidelines. And it wasn't because we know not to disrespect anyone. Okay? The Bible tells us, teaches us, as much lieth within you, be at peace with all men. Okay? We don't believe that any one people are monolith. We're not running around talking about the white man is the devil and all this other stuff, because that's nonsense. We teach the Bible as it is written. And I believe when we set our sights on identifying the policy, the dangerous policy that this man could actually do against our people, guess what, folks? I honed in. I said, this is it. This man could lead to the administrations of a total decline of America, where all of the power will go back to who? The 10 horns. And you notice they didn't use someone, they didn't use a child of someone who went through chattel slavery. You notice that. the descendants like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, those who could relate to the struggle that would give one of us an opportunity one day to be president. If they were going to choose a leader for us, and that's right, they chose him, it wasn't going to be one of us. Hit that like button. I don't know if y'all remember that. And there was all these CIA ties when it comes to allegedly in connection to his mother and all these things. And his birth was shrouded in what? In straight mystery. Father from Kenya, unheard of, don't know where he is, right? Came out of Hawaii. People were questioning birth certificates and all that allegedly. But he was good enough for us. And I remember, brothers and sisters, like it was yesterday. I remember reading this scripture. Elder Lawyer, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom, Elder Lawyer. How you doing?
I'm well, sir. How about yourself?
I went back down on memory lane a little bit, right?
Right.
I went back. I don't know if you remember some of those teachings back then.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Right? Barry
Yes,
Satoro, right? And a lot of people didn't even know that even back then there was another name for him, his real name. That, well, I don't know whether or not it's real name because I don't know how they create these personalities, right? Barack Hussein Obama. Now, check out the Jedi mind trick there to have our people celebrate someone with the name Hussein, who years before that was deemed enemy of America under the Bush administration. Right? But Elder Lawyer, I remember reading this like it was yesterday, right? And I'm going to go to the book of Daniel for the brothers and sisters real quick and highlight this, right? Now, there's many antichrists. So, like the Christian church, you're not supposed to be looking for one antichrist. You're supposed to be looking for the one Satan, the antichrist, would use to bring forth his policy. To bring forth his policy. And that's where the Christians are going off. They're still waiting for one guy to pop up when the one they would use to push his policy, they voted for. And Elder Lawyer, back then, I must have struck a chord because just teaching the truth as it is written, politically, YouTube and others had a problem with what I was bringing forth, saying this guy isn't what they are presenting. And we are at the what? We have suffered to this degree to understand what their plan was the whole time, knowing that after the Bushes and all these others, our people we were no longer spiritually invested in the electoral process. We were done. But if we're done, which is the what? 80 to 90% voting block that keeps these sycophants in power, then the Democrat Party would have been done. So they had to what? Throw in what? Someone who we thought was our people. Right? Because we were fed up. And if we're not in the process, the whole thing collapsed. Right? So I remember reading this, Elder Lawyer. I have a lot to go through, so we're going to jump right in. Elder Lawyer, I remember reading this like it was yesterday, right? right on the corners of 9th, near 8th and 9th and Market Streets, right? Check this out, right? Elder Lawyer, I need you to go to, real quick, hold on, let me grab it here. Pull you in here. One moment. And first and foremost, I would like to say shalom and happy end of Purim to you, Elder Lawyer. Bless you.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Happy Purim.
All right. Let's go to Daniel, Elder. I remember reading this, brothers and sisters, like it was yesterday. Elder Lawyer, read 8 and 23 for me, please.
Yes, sir. The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse number 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
It says, and in the latter time of their kingdom, at the end of America's kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full. Look at all the transgression that came through his policy, folks. Transgenderism, right? All of this stuff. You name it. Gene therapy and all that for children. Right? Mental health thing went through the roof after this guy. Because what it says, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences, which means he would be of the occult. He would be a man who was raised from a child to bring forth Satan's political agendas on the earth. See, people waiting for one antichrist, folks. You got to look at prophecy. Read.
24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
But not by his own power. Satan's power. And he would use the energy that comes predominantly from God's people to catapult him into what? International acclaim before the world. He needed our spirit, the people who believed in God, Christ, the Bible, to spiritually drive him as a figure before the earth. And think about this, brothers and sisters. That's why he came out running through a black nationalist church first. He made us believe that he was for our God, our Christ. And there's Kenyan ties, allegedly CIA ties on his mother's side. He was raised under what? There's some connection allegedly with Marxist ideology. He was raised to do exactly what he did. Read.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Satan's.
And he shall destroy wonderfully.
And check out this, how the Bible eloquently put this. How do you destroy wonderfully? That means this guy, this spirit would destroy with perfection and be loved the whole time while destroying the same people who cared for him, the same people who idolized him. Read.
And shall destroy the mighty, it says here, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people.
And he shall destroy the mighty and holy people. So in the end days, there would come someone up who, guess what, folks? The policy would be targeted against the bloodline children of Israel in the very end. His legislation and policy and those behind him would be seeking to use this man to destroy us, the lost tribes of Israel. And I remember saying this on the street when YouTube was at its infancy. Our people were totally enamored, as if they were under a spell. And I'm talking about preachers across religious lines. And I was looking at this. I said, you know what? These preachers are duped. They act like this guy is the second coming of Christ. I'm like, they didn't go into his background, his upbringing. They didn't go into, how he came on the scene. They didn't go into his attachments internationally to a man in Kenya, Hawaii, and all these others, these clandestine organization connections. Guess what? Him being black was good enough. Read 25.
25. And through his policy.
Hold up, Elder Lawyer. Stop right there. Don't tell me politics doesn't matter. Because he would draft policy contrary to the word of God. As if in the White House or in their councils they have a Bible and stating, this is what God say don't do. This is what God say. This is what God forbids. And what we're going to do is draft law to convince God's people to do the very contrary to the word they claim to believe in. Think about that, folks. And through policy, what? A man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. And guess what? When that happened, the Pope was in the United States. He was in Philadelphia when it happened, as if there was some big ceremony in the spiritual realm to roll out Satan's program to destroy God's people. If you get our people to go immoral, folks, if you do this to our people, it's the end of the world. We're the only people by default who had some level of empathy, love towards Christ. Even though everyone have destroyed us, we still have forgiven people. We were the moral compass of the world until this guy showed up. We weren't perfect, but there was a balance. There was a balance. There was still believers in numbers amongst our people. And through policy, also he shall what?
Also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Come on.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Come on.
And by peace shall destroy many.
And by peace he shall destroy many. Read.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
But he shall be broken without hand. It's showing, ultimately, brothers and sisters, Satan. But he would use certain people or kings and others, folks. That's right, elected officials to bring forth policy that would indirectly harm us. Look at this. Look, hit that like button because we are going in. Now, you know there were ties, Elder Lawyer, you brothers and sisters. He've always had ties with the Clintons, right? Now, when Hillary was running, Elder Lawyer, they had a policy in place to actually open up the borders, right? And they was rolling it out. They were claiming and stating that we need a world without borders, right? During running up into the election. I'm going to show you this. What we're seeing now, they wanted to do back then. Also, there was some Epstein ties, and all these others. Pizzagate, when it comes to questions concerning what's going on with these elected officials and children and all that, that was in the air. And magically, eventually, some of it went away, right? After Trump was no longer in office. Not to say Trump is guiltless. Let me make that clear. This is not to say that Trump doesn't have issues. I'm showing you politically what went down. Elder Lawyer. That's
Yes,
right,
sir.
folks. Hit the like button. Babylon's final administration is what we're talking about. And we're starting back when we were first started teaching. The Gathering of Christ Church was just a few brothers on a corner teaching. And it's surreal. Everything the Most High showed us prophetically came after our people began to believe in this man who was connected to the Clintons and all these things. And I remember, Elder Lawyer, when Hillary was running, she had a plan to open up the borders. It would have happened earlier, I believe, right? But anyway, I'm talking about the borders being open was part of the policies they were bringing forth. And I don't know if y'all remember this. She went on the Breakfast Club, Fair Use, to pander to our people, right? You had also Barack Obama on the campaign trail, right? Supporting Hillary against Trump, right? And they, she was trailing to some degree, or there was some issues because she thought after the connection with Obama that she would be way ahead of Trump in the polls. But I think at that time, our people started to figure out we were duped, right? That Barack was a figurehead utilized to indirectly destroy us and to demoralize our community, right? So it isn't that we were going to vote for Trump, but we definitely wasn't going to vote for anyone tied to him. At that time, our people were waking up. Sometimes we fall asleep, and then they find a way to stimulate us to go out and support them, right? As if they bank on knowing when they can stimulate us and when what? And when we fall asleep, they use what? They use race baiting or some type of event to get us back, what? To get us back into the electoral process. And remember, Elder Lawyer, we were talking about reparations and things back then. I mean, a lot of our people were at least bringing it up. And this is what Hillary thought that she could, this is what she thought would convince our people to come out and vote. She went to the Breakfast Club. And check out this disrespect. Fair use.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information?
What is it? What is it? Elder Lawyer, what is it you always carry with you? Angela Yee asked Hillary Clinton.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Tell our people, just tell the people, what exactly do you carry in your pocketbook? Elder Lawyer, she knew this would work. And you know that this conversation happens amongst her PR people to state the things that would charge and stimulate our people into endearing ourselves towards a political figure. They say, man, you got to mention that hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay, they give business grants. They give all types of stuff to the immigrants that come into the country. Businesses and all this, housing and all this. But what they have for us is the fact that she walks around with hot sauce. Okay? She didn't say, no, I got some cash in my pocket that's going to transfer to legislation to help these people. And you know what? She crashed and burned. Right? Now, elder lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Donald Trump wins. Check it out. Not to say we're for him. He has his own faults. But that was, during his 4 years, was the most profitable time for our people when it comes to business, upward mobility, as well as scaling financially, getting close to, not too far from, closing the gap between us and other people. Right? When you look at the statistics, we were doing better as a people under that administration than at any time in the history of America. And I'm talking about in mass, in number. Now, a little before the campaign began, that would lead to George Floyd, Biden, and all these things, guess who pops up again? 7 years ago, Barack Obama. He moves back into Washington, D.C., while Trump was still president. And people were asking, what is he there for? Right? What were they cooking up? Right? To make sure that his policies that were destroying our people continues. Could it be, allegedly, possibly, that they were working to have someone in place who they knew had serious senility issues, cognitive issues, so that they can operate in the background to finish what they tried to do through Hillary? Just putting it out there. Look at this. Fair use. Fair use. This is only for educational purposes only. Okay? Fair use.
He's about to go from commander-in-chief to couch commander.
7 years ago.
What am I going to do in D.C. for 2 years?
This self-satirical video portrays Barack Obama searching for a new occupation. He tries different roles and hopes to at least get a driver's license. Obama has already chosen the house where his family will live after leaving the White House. After stepping down, he will move to a large mansion in a wealthy Washington neighborhood called Kalorama. The mansion has an estimated value of around $6 million. Obama will not buy it, but rent it instead, paying around $22,000 per month. Obama said he is staying in Washington so that his youngest daughter, Sasha, can remain in the school she has been attending. The Kalorama district is considered to be extremely prestigious and secure. The reason is simple. The area has the highest concentration of embassies and residences of ambassadors and other officials in Washington. Local residents are used to the constant presence of police and Secret Service officers. Neighborhood historian Stephen Hansen says with the arrival of the Obama family, this area will become even more secure.
I think the neighbors might actually appreciate President Obama moving to the neighborhood. One of the stories right now is that through traffic to the street will be closed off and only available traffic access to residents. And security will be heightened, so they will not have to worry about.
So you get the gist of that, elder lawyer. So in a nutshell, he already had a plan to stay in Washington, D.C. Right? So to make sure that the policies in place, that the powers that be could still utilize him to finish what he started. Right? So now he has a place. Right? In D.C. Eventually, he gets in power. Now, check it out, Elder Lawyer. When I say he gets in power, everyone knew that if it wasn't for Melon Bollards, George Floyd, chaos on the streets, rioting, and all these things, everyone would have recognized that Biden wasn't present during that whole run-in to become president. They really rolled him out on the campaign trail, seeking to do what? Seeking to cover the fact that something was going on with him when it comes to what? Some type of cognitive decline. So, but with all the smoke screens and all these others, people started just saying, this is how they voted for Biden. They voted for Biden with, I'm not voting for Biden. We're voting against Trump. See, let me tell you, the Obamas, the Clintons, all of them were all in the think tank of this, saying, well, okay, we don't have to have a candidate. Only thing we need to do is convince these people that Trump is the bad guy, and by default, we have someone in place with clear cognitive issues that we can now operate and spin through the media to bring forth policy as that's right, as Biden as the front man, with Biden as the front man, which is pull him in and out, but still the policies that I started, see, will continue. Right? So, Elder Lawyer, this is how you know it's from the same script. Right? Here it is. We're here again during an electoral cycle where our people are fed up again because we were lied to. They did nothing for us. Right? Now, we're right on schedule, Elder Lawyer. 1 second. We're right on schedule for them to start rolling out the usual suspects, right? The Van Joneses, the Killer Mikes, T.I., Charlemagne, etc., etc. We're right on cue.
Right.
And this is why when the thing happened with the Grammys and they had Killer Mike going out in handcuffs, I'm like, here we go.
Right.
Here we go. This is how they spring their what? You got it. Their usual suspects back on the scene. As if he's against the administration. Right? So now it's this criminal justice thing. Look how they have cuffs on our people. All performative. Theater. A week before that, at the Grammys, right, before the Grammys, it's the Biden administration said they want to speak to what? They wanted to speak to the entertainment leaders of the black community. And then after that, Killer Mike comes out with handcuffs. What performances are they going into to trigger us into policy that would destroy ourselves? That would destroy our people. Think about this. If they really wanted our people to be engaged, and I don't care about what they're saying, I'm here to actually sound the trumpet prophetically with what's going on. Because all in all, the Most High wants us to take our spirit out of an empire electoral system that have destroyed us. But if we were engaged, the only thing they would have to say is, we're going to give the brothers and sisters who built this country through chattel slavery, whether you call it foundational black Americans, whether you call it, the free men who have ties to the slave ships who were born here, a reparation package that exceeds everything they've ever given to Israel, everything they've ever given to the Ukraine. We're going to distribute it amongst these people to show that we have serious sorrow and remorse for the suffering of the same people who've built this country for nothing and have given everyone in the earth, even those who come to replace us, a head start. If they said that we promise we're going to give y'all even more, our people will jump right back in. Right? It's not about, but this is what they're going to try to tell us our issues are. They're going to try to tell us that they really need to ramp up criminal reform. That's an insult. We're not all criminals. So that's an insult. Voter suppression. They're going to say that we got to do something about voter suppression. Listen, we don't care about that. Our people vote when we want to vote, and Barack Obama was the proof of that. So we're not stomping for some voter suppression law or college debt relief. That's ridiculous because all of us didn't go to college. And it's the people, it's the hard workers, the blue collar people who didn't go to college, who, if they were to have college debt relief, it'll be the people who didn't go to college paying for the debt relief. But these are the things they're going to try to make us believe is for our people. Okay? And they know that our people are saying, nah, y'all going to have to break us off like Pharaoh broke off the Israelites coming out of Egypt. Reparations is really the only thing, the only policy our people are actually speaking about. The only. Because if you got money, you're not going to be a criminal. You're going to put it into business. Right? If you got money already, you don't have to worry about somebody coming in and doing something against you, because you don't have to worry about the law stepping in, because you got a financial wall to help you stave off the enemy. See? You can dictate scenarios. Then this is why they're not going to give it to you. But Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
So here's the playbook now, right? Here's the playbook. This just happened the other day, Elder Lawyer. And I need to blow this up. See, Hillary said, you know, I got hot sauce in the pocketbook. We got Biden and the press team in front of a chicken spot. In front of a chicken spot. I think this is in Louisiana or in the South. They got him walking into a black chicken spot, Elder Lawyer. You can't make this up. Check it out.
Meanwhile, and one point there to go a little bit deeper, among black men, Trump actually wins by 3 points in this poll, 49 to 46.
Shocking. It's shocking.
Fair use.
First of all, overall, the Biden-Harris coalition could be called the Humpty Dumpty coalition right now, just falling apart.
Now, notice, Elder Lawyer, they're starting to burn their political connection to Biden. And I remember like it was yesterday, I said, they have him running with these cognitive issues with Kamala as the smokescreen. She was running more than he was to coax black women into believing that they should get behind her when she don't have nothing to do with black women. And I said, because normally no one would actually vote for Kamala. So that now, if something happens where eventually they'll burn Biden, they'll have Kamala there and have to match her with someone else. I said that. Why? You don't need to be a prophet to understand that. It's not in the Bible. These guys roll out the same plan every time, the same blueprint.
It's falling apart. The Latino vote on the ground, the youth vote on the ground, the black vote on the ground. This is not good. Now, there is a year to turn it around.
He say there is a year to turn it around. So here it is. This guy right here thinks our people are stupid. Okay? Watch this guy. He's very eloquent. He's talented. Okay? He usually sounds empathetic. He's dangerous. This guy is.
The black male, that's a stunner. Black women have been in the lead, but black men haven't been that far behind.
So how do you think we feel if they're stating on CNN black women have been in the lead? What other demographic of people have their woman in the lead and are brazen enough to brag about that on what? On mainstream media. How did that happen?
I think you've got a constituency that is losing hope and looking for change.
Now, he's going to say, he know we're looking for change, right? Speaking of black men, Judah, let's see the change he believes will get our people, black men, engaged.
A lot of the things that black men were voting for didn't happen yet. Nothing yet on voting rights.
Black men never said we wanted voting rights. Okay. Black men can vote. What are you talking about?
Nothing yet on police reform. No.
We don't care about police reform. With money, we can defend ourselves.
Nothing yet on criminal justice reform. So
we don't care about criminal justice reform because the majority of us aren't criminals. You see this, folks? So they use a black man to lie before the public, claiming that this is why black men are frustrated. Liars.
A lot of those issues that were important for black male voters haven't been.
No, that was never important for us. So now we know the talking points that what? That the entertainers and others are going to be utilizing and stomping for publicly to claim this is why black people aren't engaged. Get ready for
it. Addressed yet, and the economic pain is real.
Now, yeah, the economic pain is real, but you notice he's going to move fast off of that when that's really the biggest issue. Listen, look how fast he moved off of the financial piece.
So a lot of those issues that were important for black male voters haven't been addressed yet, and the economic pain is real. Last thing I'll say is
the economic pain was the only thing he needed to talk about. Reparations. See?
A lot of black male voters are non-college working folks. And some of
exactly
the stuff that is non-college working, that's working for white working class guys, can also work for black working class guys. But you can't just expect for black men to stand in long lines or black women to stand in long lines, get nothing done on policy specifically to them, and then stay in this coalition.
All right. Okay, what you got here, y'all? You got Biden with a brother eating some fried chicken. You can't make this up. Folks, you can't make this up. Now, I have a question I'm going to ask you all in a moment, right? I got a question I'm going to ask you all in a moment. But before we go there, I need y'all to check out what's going on here. You can't make this up. Do they think we're stupid? Do they think our people are stupid? And I have a question. I want y'all to answer this in a moment. Right? But, Elder Lawyer, let me, Biden's response to special counsel hurt or help him? Folks, there's a special counsel that stated that what? They found some top secret, what you would call government information that wasn't supposed to be taken out of the White House, right? classified information was found in Biden's home. Now, this is what they were coming after Trump about, right? A special counsel with a doctor determined that he's an old man in cognitive decline. And this is why no charges were levied against Biden, because they said that his mental capacity wasn't there. Therefore, they can't say for sure he knew what he was doing with these classified documents in his home. Well, if you're stating that, are you stating that he isn't mentally sound enough to run the country? Think about that. And now, if these classified details, international details, were found in his home, and then we heard about years ago Obama's moving in to D.C., I mean, if you were to thread the needle, some would assume that other people were actually running things with him bringing stuff to his home outside of the view of the White House. Right? Just put it out there. Fair use.
To have dug him a bigger hole, and the White House counsel was sent out the next day trying to clean it all up. What does it say about the president's ability to hold on to his incumbency? Joining me now, somebody with pretty unique insights on all of this, former senior advisor to President Obama, David Axelrod, who, of course, is a CNN senior political commentator. David, great to see you. The special counsel comments, they would not have landed with...
So CNN and all the international news is already burning Biden as a possible candidate, intimating that it would be best for the party if he stepped down. I'm going to show you where we're going at, folks. Let me put this at 351. I wonder, elder lawyer, what, better yet, who is the solution?
Right.
Right? Because they already began to burn Biden, right? They already started burning him. I told y'all years ago this was about to happen, right? Listen.
Look at who Vegas odds makers are saying have the best chances of being elected this fall.
Vegas odds makers saying these are the candidates who have the greatest chance of being elected this fall. Donald Trump.
Trump is a 5 to 6 shot. It's better than even. Biden 15 to 8, a little better than 2 to 1.
Next is who? You can't make this up. Folks, the material writes itself. Now, just imagine, elder lawyer, if he drops out, he bow out for, for the party, Biden, for reasons of retiring with his family, leaving Kamala, and to either move her out of the way altogether or have her on the ticket as a vice president to Michelle Obama, leaving Barack Obama in power. Look at this. I told y'all. They're already putting the spin out there. They seeding people with it. Huh? Did not tell you. See? Did not tell you. Elder lawyer, what better way to get our sisters energized? Right? Through symbolism.
Right.
And I believe that's the most threatening thing for our people, is that we have within our people those who will deal with things from an emotional standpoint. Symbolism is good enough. Even though they're stomping our people in the ground, our sisters are coming up missing under these policies. And on top of that, folks, sisters are being put out of their houses. I need y'all to think about that right now. They're getting put out of their houses. All of their money is going to immigrants and all of that, folks. And we thought that the man, Barack Obama, years ago was going to be the one to solve the financial problem in our community. The disparity of what? There's a gap because the whole world got a head start, especially after our people served 200-300 years without being paid nothing. We thought Barack Obama and Michelle would understand that and got a big fat donut. A matter of fact, we got exactly what Daniel said we would get, an attack against the holy people. Huh? So I have a question, Elder Lawyer. I need you to get the scriptures, and then we're going to open this up for the people because I have to hear from them now. I must hear from them now, right? Elder Lawyer, let's get Isaiah 30, please. And how long?
Yes, sir.
Let's get Isaiah first. Hold on. I have a question I'm going to pose. Isaiah 30, verse 12.
Yes, sir.
Let's read it.
Isaiah 30, verse number 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon.
It says, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, the God of this Bible, the God who sent Christ. Because our people despise the word and trust in oppression. We'll despise the word which puts us under the Most High's hedge, his grace, who gives us wisdom to navigate through this world. We'll despise his word, the Bible, and we'll rather trust in those who've oppressed us. And what? Perverseness. Why do you think, folks, during the voting process of the last, not the voting process, during the vaccination rollout, that they had Saucy Santana and Trina singing, what was it? It said, no voting, no what?
Yeah, I think that's just about as much as we can say. They can fill in the rest.
Yeah, but it was straight perversion. What is it in us that they thought that that would actually entice us to actually go out to get the medication? No voting, no, I can't even, this is a family show. And what is it in us that they thought that they can get us out by the guy vax that thing up? Right? It's because we trust in oppression, and they can actually lead us through carnal lust, through sex. They know this. So since we trust in oppression, our oppressors,
and stay thereon.
And stay thereon, read.
Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Since we won't change, since we continually to trusting in the same satanic cabal who have destroyed us, the Most High said, you know what? The breaking will come instantly. You rather trust those who are destroying you instead of leaning on the God who made us. So I have a question, Elder Lawyer. And a matter of fact, let the Most High ask the question first. Let's get the scripture you have, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. The book of Proverbs 1:22.
Okay, let me grab that also so they can see that. Hold on. Proverbs, chapter and verse?
1:22.
Proverbs 1, verse 22. Read it.
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Read it again.
How long will ye simple ones love simplicity?
How long will our people love to be simple? We're the only people on earth who use the power of voting, okay, through emotion, for emotional gratification, or for some level of symbolism. Everyone else in the world use voting to financially aggrandize their group, to financially help themselves. We're the only people on earth who vote with emotions when we're triggered. So if I'm the other nations, I'll just make sure I get amongst you, since you are the greatest voting bloc amongst the Democrats, and I'll trigger you against someone else so that I can use your power to enrich my people. That's why you have your black and brown coalition, the Kamalas, who's really her mother and all that, East Indian. So only thing I have to do is trigger you with racial politics and say that this guy is racist and that guy is racist, only to trigger you. Oh, yeah, somebody got shot. We need to do something about the police, to get you triggered to use the power of your vote to financially aggrandize my people. I just got to trigger you. We're the only people who vote through emotions. And that's why the Bible says, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? How long will we stay simple? Read.
And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
And fools hate knowledge. Who would actually do something? Who would use the strength of voting? And think about this. I hear this all the time, Elder Lawyer. Oh, yeah, our people died for the right to vote. Well, just look at it from that angle. If we went through all that to vote, why waste it on emotion and not get anything out of it?
Exactly.
If you're going to tell me our forefathers were sprayed with water hose, was hung and all that for the right to do this, why do it so that others could benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. The Chinese, and they got a whole country, folks. They can come over here and they get more than you as a minority. And they have a whole country. India has a whole country with their people. They didn't build this country. They came in on the backs of what? Civil rights, where our people suffered. And they get more than you. Barack Obama, he was able to leapfrog the people who was born here to become the face to represent blackness in America, when his people was from Kenya somewhere, as we think. He was raised by other people. He wasn't raised by black people with Marxist, allegedly, ideology. So, here's a question. What have we learned? Since the time we began to teach, going all around this world, baptizing, setting up churches on the corner with no idea of what the Most High would do through this word. But I remember resoundingly a teaching, Daniel's the 8th chapter, saying the policy of this right here will start with this man, Barack Obama, that destroys the holy people. I remember that teaching like it was yesterday. Since then, what have we learned? What have we learned in the last few years? If anything, is the question. See, I'm going to keep it simple. So to provoke thought, conversation. Because the enemy will continue to do the same thing over and over again as long as it works. So the change must happen in us. When Van Jones was talking about change, people shouldn't be waiting for a change. We're supposed to be the change.
Right.
Something has to change. We have to change. So here's the question. Oh yeah, we have a powerful broadcast off the back of Purim tonight. Let's talk about it. What have we learned in the last few years, if anything? Do you have anything, Elder Lawyer, to say before I open up the calls?
No, sir.
So I'm going to ask that question, and I'll put it out there. And happy Purim to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Like I said, I'm not at all, folks, trying to hear anything these so-called politicians have to say anymore. They've been using our people, abusing our people, and our people just let them. So I just need to know, is it going to be just the same old status quo? Are they going to find the magic ingredients to get our people out there again to vote, to actually participate in a process to destroy themselves? That's a question. Now, I have another video I'm going to show in a couple of moments, because this same administration, the political machine, was behind coming into our communities, getting us to take the stuff. And now looking back, us taking the stuff has conveniently made room for the replacements. Our people are sick, falling dead. You have a lot of people, I'm seeing sisters having miscarriages now. Cognitive issues, mental illness issues arising out of nowhere. Could it all be attached to that decision? That's just a question. 515-605-9327. I'm going to just call in, Elder Lawyer, real quick, all right? You don't have to go off.
Yes, sir.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Unmuted.
All right. Thank you, Elder Ramar, for holding serve. If you come in, please check in with Elder Ramar so I can see a name on the dashboard. It makes it simpler to actually have a name going into each phone call, okay? And again, for the Academy, we will be talking about aliens, right? We're going to be talking about the gods, the fallen angels, UFOs, and the Bible this coming Sunday. And we will also be going into why Israel and America has a Space Force. What are they doing out there this coming Sunday? All right. 661. A matter of fact, let's start with Kaim, 470 area code. Shalom, Kaim.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom.
Yes,
how are you
sir.
doing?
How are you?
I'm blessed by the best.
Pretty
How are
good,
you, sir?
Yes, sir. Hey, Elder, you said this 9-10 years ago. You said the people is not going to get it until they take everything away, and then the chosen are going to have to seek the Most High higher. So I was watching the video, Elder, and you was hitting every point. So what I've learned, based on your question, what I've learned, Elder, is to put my faith in the Most High by way of YASHAYA and our Heavenly Mother, the Holy Spirit. And Elder, it's like people are just getting more and more angry, and you see just people that's supposed to look normal are just stealing and doing harsh things. And our people are just the hearts of our people are wax cold. But if they open their ears and free themselves from Satan's system, they will be able to hear YASHAYA and know the whole matter.
Let me ask you the question though. Let's start off by answering the question. I'd rather you come in and answer the question and then roll off your thoughts. Even though your thoughts are poignant, I appreciate it, my brother. Let me ask you the question. What have we learned in the last few years, if anything? What do you think with that? Have our people learned anything yet?
Yes, sir. I think our people haven't learned yet because we keep falling for what they say, the banana in the tailpipe. It's like the same routine. They use certain things to trigger our emotions, like you said. You know, our emotions are our worst enemies because the thing is we have emotions for others, but we don't have emotions for our own. And we're willing to fight and ask about others instead of realizing that we have our own and we have things set up to make us better within ourselves. Like Deuteronomy 28:1 said, that we must hearken. And if we don't, Deuteronomy 28:15. So, Elder, that's what it is that, you know, we haven't learned nothing. You know, but it's like you said, it's a short remnant that are hearing the call. And it's prophesied. So, and hopefully this, I know, Elder, what the church is doing is going to resonate and wake up more and more people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you this before you go, because I believe they're going to bring in Michelle Obama, and she's going to go into the racist history of our people, of how the racists have always destroyed our people. And it's time for us to stand up as a people, as black people. And Trump represents everything our people have struggled to rise above. I mean, I could write the script for if you want. This is what she's going to be using. Michelle Obama being a black woman speaking to black women's issues, right? And on top of that, she's going to be going into racism, race baiting. Hey, somebody hold this, clip it, understand? I said it first, okay? This is where it's going. Thank you, my brother. So,
yes, sir, Duarte.
All right, my brother. All right, let me place you on hold. Great call. Great call. We have 347 area code. That would be, who, Stephen? Shalom.
All right.
Yes, Stephen?
Hello?
And you know what? What's funny is you're going to continually hear them talk around reparations, right? Reparations. Oh, bro, hold up. I got to put you on hold. Okay, Stephen, when I bring you in, there cannot be anything playing in the back. Let me tell you, they all know the only way to really solve issues with our people in America, I'm talking about the descendants of slaves, those who came off slave ships, is reparations in the form of cash payments, not in the form of some cards, not in the form of some other legislation like bridges and all these other things, which is actually what? Functions of government. They're going to try to say reparations is putting money into recreation centers. No. Reparations is cash payments. What you're doing to Israel after World War I and World War II, after the Holocaust, that's reparations. Okay? What you're giving the Ukraine, that's reparations. Cash money in pockets and let people decide what they're going to do with it. That's reparations. So they try to talk around this, folks, as if they don't know what the key issue is for our people. The number one scenario that our people are stopping for, not criminal reform, not debt relief for colleges, none of that crap, not voter suppression. Reparations is the only thing on the table. Cash payments. Okay? That's the only thing on the table for our people. If you're going to offer something, if you ain't offering that, you're offering nothing. Okay? You got illegal immigrants coming into the country from China and all these other places and getting a car at $1,000 a month for food, while our people on the street suffering who built the country. Don't let them race bait you, folks. I'm bringing you back in, Stephen. Hopefully nothing is playing in the background. Yes, Stephen.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah. I posed the question, what have our people learned, if anything, within the last few years? You have anything to say on that? And of course, anything you like to say, I'm open to hear.
Well, as you stated before, sir, that only a few of us have come into this understanding or knowledge. And unfortunately, most of our people are still living in the world and going by the way of the world. So anything that sway them that they throw out there to sway them to do their bidding or to follow their guidelines, our people are unfortunately falling for it by droves.
I got one question to ask you. I got one question to ask you real quick. I'm going to let you go on. But let me answer this. Someone says here, I stopped looking for reparations. Listen, I'm looking for what the Bible said gives, right? I'm not even looking for reparations, right? But the whole deal is, the insult out there is knowing what the issues are that our people are bringing up, to know what we're saying in number when it comes to policy, yet they ignore it. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm not waiting for it either. But what I'm saying is they're claiming they're offering something, but will ignore what they give everyone else, ignoring what the people are saying they want. And the example, look, brother, and the example is what they give to other people. That's the problem. You can't say it's going to be a problem giving it to the people who built the country and then give it to strangers in other countries who had nothing to do with paying into the country. So that's the insult that they're doing. Hold up, let me show this real quick. Here's the insult. Hold up, brother. Hold on, brother. I have to show this. Here's the insult right here. And I showed this last night. Here's the insult. That's the insult right there. January 15th, 2024, this year, reparation bonds could unlock $300 billion for Ukraine. How can they get reparations from the United States? That's the insult right there. So don't claim you can't do it. So brothers and sisters, do I expect it? No. But what I'm saying is they know what reparations are. They know what our people are asking for. And they get these pundits, these puppets to get on CNN and all that to talk around it. That's the issue. And this is what God says. And if they did give reparations, that would be the right thing to do. Ezekiel 33:15 said, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, he would live. That means to restore or indemnify the people you use to build this empire, folks. So no, we can't expect nothing but the norm. I know we can't expect anything because they measure their greatness through our poverty. But the question is, are our people recognizing this? And will they get on code? I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Straight disrespect. But go on. I'm sorry.
As I was saying that it matters not what they offer, because they will never really give us reparation.
Exactly.
It's like they dangle a carrot out there in front of you just for it to be snatched back.
Yeah.
But this knowledge of that they would never give us reparation was really publicly clear when the situation that happened with Ice Cube, where he was looking politically for them to have some type of reparation given back to our people.
Yeah.
And everybody was like pushing him to a side or making him to be as a joke.
Yeah. So again, have we learned anything? Or you think our people are going to fall for the same thing again? Do you think, brother, and be honest, right?
Unfortunately, yes. I think they're gonna fall for the okie doke. They're gonna see a black woman, especially I hate to say it, especially our sisters. They're gonna see this and they're gonna think women empowerment, and they finally go to get their leg up and get their acknowledgement, and they're gonna fall for the whole thing.
Yeah. And you know there's debt forgiveness they already have on the books for high earners, those of Yale and Harvard and all that, right?
Yeah.
You know they already have debt forgiveness that they should have given to our people. That's for the rich. College, they've been actually relieving college debt for rich people. You can't make this up. Now, brother, real quick, right now, and I'm seeing Biden right here. And it's a nice house. A brother, you could tell the brother is he's educated. He's in the house of a brother who's educated, who's doing pretty good. And, he's there. We got the chicken. Biden is there with some chicken to eat chicken with our people. Right? What do you think about, hold up. He's going in now to get some chickens. You think that's enough?
Yeah.
You think that's enough to get our people out there? or is this straight disrespect? How many times do they go to the Chinese and say, you know what? I'm going to go get some egg foo young for your vote. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to get some beef yak. Right? Come vote. You think the Chinese are looking at him like he crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get me some shrimp fried rice. Right?
Let me ask you this.
I mean,
do you think our people are beyond the knowledge of knowing when they're being insulted?
You know what, brother? I need you to pose the question again. That's a good question. Pose it.
Do our people have lost the knowledge of knowing when you're being insulted?
I don't even think our people know when we're being insulted. It's like,
wow.
Listen, brother, let me tell you. There should have been some brothers standing out there and saying, listen, all due respect, that brother who owned that business should have shut the window. Like, my people are suffering in this country, and you're going to what? You're going to pander by getting some fried chicken? I mean, a matter of fact, hold up. Don't just patronize me. I got a brother up the street selling watermelons. Let's not stop here. Okay, don't stop with the chicken. I got a brother right around the corner that has some watermelons. Let's get this whole thing, this whole stereotypical insult, let's get it working. Thank you, my brother. Good question.
Pardon me, Elder.
Yeah, go ahead. You have the last word.
Pardon me, Elder, but do you remember the old cartoons where they have our people depicted with big lips and eating watermelon and chasing down fried chicken and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Is it possible that our people have forgotten this history?
Brother, I think the fact that we're being recognized at all is good enough for our people, unfortunately.
Wow.
The fact they're talking about us. The fact that this guy would and he was slow getting into his house. They need to really help this guy. But the fact that he's willing to grace us with his presence is good enough for our people. He can't go to the Chinese with this. He can't go, let me tell you, he can't even go to the immigrants with this. The immigrants is saying, listen, this food in this lofty hotel isn't good enough because it's not our cultural food. Give us some money so that we can eat our types of cuisines and put it on the card and do it now.
Excuse me, Elder. And if they don't, then they're going to beat the police down for it.
Hey, brother. I don't think
fool you. You guys remember Hillary Clinton? The hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my purse.
Hot sauce in the bag. Now hold up. Now, that's a brother, but this brother is doing pretty good. Why did he go into the hood where our people are suffering at? This guy, he got a debt relief of $100,000, but he makes real good money. So this is also representing that they're already doing debt relief for those who have money already. So this is how they think they're going to get black people out to vote, the black male. No. Okay? You give the people their money, reparations, and they'll pay for their own debt. How's that? Huh?
Indeed.
And look, since Biden started, because he went to the same place he campaigned before, the package was $5.99 before he was president. And now the same package, the same bucket now is $7.69. So this guy is causing the community more money. Right? The prices went up 28% since this guy became president. At the same chicken spot. Folks, these jokes write themselves. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. Get ready for Michelle.
If you don't mind, real quick, Elder, before you go to the next call, I would like to partially answer the brother's question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I believe his question was, are our people too blind to see and recognize that this is an insult? And I personally believe that there's a remnant of our people who are blessed because their eyes can see and their ears can hear exactly what's being done. And they can see through this. They can read through this and see exactly what this is. Okay? As you mentioned earlier, it's all performative.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do believe that there is a portion of our people who love simplicity, who sit there and they see Biden eating fried chicken with a black man. They see Hillary Clinton saying that she carries around hot sauce. They see Kamala Harris saying that she loves collard greens. They see her wearing Chuck Taylors and Timberland boots. And they see the politicians at the Jay-Z concert or Beyonce concert or a Lil Wayne concert and believe that their heart is with us. The reality is this. Christ said, where your treasure is, there shall your heart be also. So, for example, we know that their heart is with Ukraine. Why? Because they have sent treasure to Ukraine. They have sent money to Ukraine by the billions. We know that their heart is with Israel. How? Because they have sent money to Israel. We know that their heart is with some of the people that they're letting into the country. Why? Because they are investing and putting money into the people that are coming into the country. When it comes to us, we get a performance. We get fried chicken. We get Timberland boots. I love collard greens. I love hot sauce, so on and so forth. Showing you that their heart is not with us. They have no compassion for what we're going through in this country. And therefore, as you mentioned, I personally do not believe that they will give us anything. But I close with that.
But I'm glad you're using these scriptures, because some people are saying what? Well, it's the Bible. Are we supposed to be expecting anything under certain circumstances, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible speaks of what?